Hello, welcome to another episode of Being Igorota, and welcome to Food and Travel. Now, you might be thinking, why is Being Igorota talking about travel and food? I've been traveling since backpacking was not a thing yet. Now you know how old I am. So this guide is for people who are like me, who like adventure and who like to see a lot of things and do a lot of things and know how to chill all at the same time. In this episode, I would like to share one of the few options on how to spend your time in Costa Rica for 5 days. Costa Rica is one of the most beautiful biodiverse countries in the world. When I was there, I was amazed how the weather, the climate, and the environment are so different from each other, even though they're just like 2 to 4 hours away from each other. Most visitors that go to Costa Rica say that it's better to rent a car. But in my experience, if you're just planning to stay in one place, if you just want to chill out on the beach, or you just want to maybe enjoy the hot springs, then renting a car is not really advisable because it's also expensive. In Costa Rica, they generally accept cards and they generally accept US dollars, but it's cheaper to use colones. Say it with me, colones. So $1 is equivalent to about 530 something colones. And yes, you will be a millionaire when you get there. So where do I book most of my accommodations? So I use booking.com. The great thing about booking.com is if you book like maybe 6 or 4 hotels from them, then you get to a Genius 2 level, and from that you can get 15% off your bookings, and also you can get free breakfast in select hotels. Booking.com. You should sponsor me. So in San Jose, I recommend the guest house Caps Place. It's a very, very cool guest house. It has like a yoga-ish, quiet spirit inside the guest house. When you're outside the guest house, it doesn't look like it's wide, but when you go inside the guest house, it's actually really wide. They also have great breakfast. They also have wines and beers. They have hostel options or dormitory type beds, and they also have private beds or rooms, and they also have double rooms for couples. First off, I decided to relax on the first day and then go to Central Market and walk around downtown. The great thing about Caps Place is it's not so far away from downtown. You can just walk to Central Market. It's around 20 minutes away, and it's 5-minute walk away from the actual downtown. Central Market is an exciting sight to see because I love chaos. I recommend that you go there in the morning or early in the afternoon because it closes at 5 o'clock. The name of the stall where I ate at is Pipasa. I actually saw that there are a lot of locals going there and eating there, and their arepas was so great. They also have this fried bananas with cheese. I love cheese. When it comes to accommodation, I like affordable places, but when it comes to food, I like to experience the best and also the street food. So there are a few restaurants close to the guest house, and there's a really posh restaurant called Castanuela's Flamenco Restaurante. From outside, it looks like a diner, but then when we went inside, we realized it's like a fancy place. It was really fancy. The food was delicious. The chef could speak English, and while we were there, there were also other tourists. Like what I said, I don't recommend to stay in San Jose for more than a day, but we decided to go to Jaco, so I found out how to get to Jaco. You can take the bus from San Jose to Jaco. You can take Uber to take you to the bus station. The bus station is actually not that far from Caps. The 710 bus terminal is like a small mall. If you don't know where Jaco is one of the surf capitals in Costa Rica, which is just around 2 hours away from San Jose. So the bus is around $5 and it was quite comfortable. It was not so bad. And it was so amazing how the weather has drastically changed from springtime in San Jose to summertime in Jaco. So since I wanted to learn how to surf, I found Selena Surf School and Hotel. Selena has like different branches in different countries. I think they have like 2 in Europe and mostly in South America and Central America. Selena also has options for hostel or dormitory beds or private and queen beds for couples. It's a beautiful place. It has its own beachfront. It has its own swimming pool. I was living. If you're wondering what's going on with me, this is what happens when you binge RuPaul's Drag Race and RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars for an entire week of vacation. Selena Jaco has its own workspace, restaurant, and bar. It was really cool and amazing, as you can see from the video. It's very affordable. Their beds start from $16 a night up to I think $80 or $90 a night. Like I said, I love my cheap eats and my elevated eats. So we looked around for a great restaurant and we found Nuevo Alegre Steakhouse. So Costa Rica is also quite known for their steakhouses because of the influence of Argentinian food. And also their cows are much happier than here in the US. I would like to think so. I ordered the small intestines. Oh my gosh, I was living. And then I ordered the salmon with rosé. It was good. I was expecting a more elevated taste, but it was okay. And my traveling partner ordered the tomahawk steak. It was, I think, 1 kilogram. And look at me, I really love to eat. Ziplining is very much an activity in Costa Rica. We decided to take the mega ziplining activity from Park Adventures. So this park claims to have the longest ziplining experience in Costa Rica. It's so cool because I have ziplined before, but I have done it in parks like in Cancun and in Connecticut and in New Jersey. This ziplining experience is very different because you literally zip line through the jungle. So I recommend that you use rash guards and use pants, especially if you're like me who attracts bugs and mosquitoes. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, we did 25 zip lines and 2 rappelling experiences, and it was really great. I would love to do it again, darling. And then there's some swimming by a waterfall. So I recommend that you use your swimsuit inside and you use your rash guard and pants. If you have water shoes, that's fine too, but it's better to use your hiking shoes. Look at that. Look at that view. I really enjoy the zip lining. You guys should do it. You guys should do it. Like in our group, there was like a mother who was in her 50s. She was nervous in the beginning because she didn't realize that she booked the longest zip lining park in Costa Rica. But when she was doing it, she was really happy and she was so excited. And then we were treated with a delicious lunch and a great view by the end of the experience. So on our second night in Hako, we decided to just walk by the main road and just find a restaurant there. And we decided to go to Restaurante Marisqueria, and it was so great. I personally think that the taste is better than in the steakhouse because the steakhouse was really pricey. We paid about $1, and the prices are really great. The dishes are so tasty, and I love their coconut flan. Oh my god, look at me, I really love to eat. And the next day we decided to chill and learn how to surf. When you go to Costa Rica, you should surf in Costa Rica. If you don't know how to surf, then you should learn how to surf in Costa Rica. Before we went back to San Jose in the afternoon, we took the surf class in the morning. So we went back to San Jose and we decided to relax and chill. And yes, we went back to Cap's place. This time we got a nicer room. So this last thing that I decided to do stressed us out a little bit, just a little bit. So I booked this hiking and swimming here in the US, and we weren't able to do it when we got to San Jose on the first day because we decided to just relax. So I really wanted to see the waterfalls because of all the great reviews. So we took a bus from San Jose to Grecia and took an Uber from Grecia to Catarata Falls. Little did I know that from Grecia to the falls, it's like over 2 hours. I enjoyed the hike, so I really recommend you to go there. But it's better to have car to go there because it's so far away. And that night we were scheduled to fly back to New York City. But the hike was worth it. It's so beautiful. The falls was cold and woo, it was so nice. So the main attractions are the Blue Falls and the Catarata Falls. The Catarata Falls, you're not allowed to swim because it's too dangerous. The Blue Falls, you are allowed to swim. There were like 3 falls that we saw during the hike, but Blue Falls is like the ultimate. So this area is actually quite close to La Fontana, which is where the hot springs are. But since we only had 5 days, we didn't have time to go to the hot springs. So next time when I go back to Costa Rica, I'm going to rent a car. Other places in Costa Rica that are very notable are Liberia, which is also a beach town, and La Fontana, which is where the volcanoes and the hot springs are. After our hike at the Catarata and Blue Falls, I was so worried that we won't be able to make it to the airport because it was 5 o'clock and was about 4 hours away from San Jose, and we had to go back to our hotel. There was no car available to drive us back. There was no Uber. Good thing the owner, who is from Holland, actually called someone he knows, and he drove us back to Grecia, and we were able to find an Uber from Grecia to our guest house in San Jose. And yeah, it was expensive. The Uber rides were ridiculously expensive. Going to the falls, we probably spent around almost $100 just for the Ubers. So anyway, we were successful. We were able to arrive in the airport 3 hours before our flight was at 11:50 p.m. and we arrived in New York City around 6 a.m. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to share this video, like my Facebook page, Being Igorota, and subscribe on my YouTube channel, Being Igorota, and follow me on Instagram, Being Igorota.